Good afternoon, Augusta Nation. Sun is still shining here in Augusta, Georgia, and we did have a exceptionally warm middle of October. Got up to about 85 degrees, but if you've ever been in Georgia, the weather will change here. We've got 82 degrees for the high tomorrow, and then 49 for the low at night, so you never know what to expect. But if you notice, I don't have my Augusta attire on today. I got off a little early, which is unlike me. I got off about 4:30. Got my mountain bike in the back here, and Jeremy and I, he just bought a brand new mountain bike, full suspension, and we've got some amazing trails here in Augusta. If you are in the area, if you're into mountain biking, it's worth a several hour drive to go to Fats Fork Trail System. So that's what we're headed to do right now. Try to get a ride in before it gets dark. But today's been really good. It's been an amazing Friday. And as I was saying in some of the videos recently, with the season change, sometimes, you get kind of like a season change of life. You start to do, for me anyways, this time of year I start reflecting, and it kind of goes hand in hand with business. Start thinking about growth for next year. And sometimes I think about, where we've been, with the business, with life and things of that nature. So I've been in growth mode for several years now, at least for, let's see here, the first year, 2014, I was unsure really of what I was going to do. I was in a transitionary period, and I'll have a video on that, but I had just transferred the bar that I was running back. The business had kind of died, and I was getting engaged, so I was looking for a career path, and I was going to join the military. So 2014, I was training for that and planning on enlisting at the end of that year. So I really wasn't trying to grow the business aggressively. And then that next year, I had decided against going to the military, started growing it. And so from basically 2015 to now has been in growth mode. And with our 10-year plan, growth is still in it. We want to have 20 locations. So it's still a pretty steep growth curve. And if you listen to Mike Andes and what he talks about as far as scaling from $0 to $1 million, most of the time what's best is to take a break of hyper growth, because growth sucks cash, and then get into a extreme efficient profit conserving year. And so me being in hyper growth mode, I made a whiteboard video a few days ago, or maybe it was last week, where I kind of projected the growth of our Augusta location in our North Augusta, and then our maintenance division, treatment division in Augusta, what the projected numbers were, what we were going to have to purchase, and just kind of getting the preliminary plans for growth. And I had it on the board, and it's like my brain was just in autopilot, in growth autopilot. So I was like, all right, I've been growing at a good clip here the past few years. I think we went from, where did we go? I think we went from 200 to 319 to 400, or 400 to 700, from 700, I think this year will be like 1.1 million. So we've been growing at a 50 to 60% clip for a few years now. And you just get geared up for that. Like, okay, we've got to grow or we'll die. 'Cause that's really how I felt. I didn't make the best decisions for my growth. Mike Andes talks about it, the killers of small business, the mistakes you can make, debt, working on the business at a time when you should be working in the business, marketing mistakes you can make, equipment purchases, as far as, I didn't buy new trucks or anything, but I financed all my equipment. I took out, I was inefficient in labor, and instead of fixing it, I was like, all right, well, to make payroll, I got to get a credit line. I got to get a loan. And then instead of focusing on one service, I had a spray rig and I had a maintenance truck. So a lot of those mistakes made an already difficult situation of growing your business from scratch to 500,000 and then 500,000 to $1 million, made it a whole lot harder and without hardly any profit. So I get ready for this next year and my mind's already in hyper growth mode, when in all actuality, and I've got Mike Andes as a mentor, the guy that is by far the best in the business. If you want to listen to someone that and your goal is to create a systems oriented business with high attention to profit as a value, that's the man to listen to. And even with him having monthly coaching calls and him telling me, hey, this would be a good year for you not to grow, I still made a whiteboard with 50% growth or 40 something percent growth. And it wasn't until I think we had another coaching call, or I forget what it was. He might have made a video that kind of made me rethink it. So me and Jeremy were talking, and Jesse this morning, we're like, we're already at $1 million. This growth, which would have brought us to 1.5 million, and most likely would have only been able to profit 10% by doing that, we would have expended another $50,000 to $60,000 in capital to add $500,000 in revenue. So in that, what we were doing, we would have added $50,000 in revenue, or a 10% profit margin, $5,000. We would have spent $50,000 to $60,000 in capital to profit $5,000 or $6,000. So it didn't make much sense, and it'd be way more work than taking our $1 million in revenue, focusing on one growth, and that's the spray division, and taking all of our outliers as far as like outside of our area of density, removing those, anybody that we hadn't increased prices on, going and increasing them. So if they drop, fine, and only concentrating growth as far as recurring mows in our dense populated area, as far as the Augusta location and the North Augusta. So, and by doing that, if we do $1 million, 1.1, 1.2 in revenue, we don't have to spend as much money. We're still gonna have to spend as far as equipment. We've got to buy a spray truck, but we could possibly sell. I only got one. I think I just passed the trail system. It's possible. That's okay. You buy a spray truck, and I think that's all we're gonna have to do, and maybe one mower. So we might be able to only spend $20,000, and with all those efficiencies, have a profit margin of 15% at $1 million. So be able to profit $150,000 with only $1 million worth of business. So I'd much rather do the same amount of work that we did the year previous and make more money than do more work and make the same amount of money. So that's what we're gonna roll with, and it's nice. I've never been in a situation where I've felt like, because in the past, I guess, 8 years, I've felt like if I don't grow, the business is gonna die, and I've got to figure something else out. So, getting to a place where you realize that the best decision is to be still and focus on efficiency. I feel very, very blessed to be here, and that's what I'm gonna do. It's a decision I'm gonna make, and we'll see how it goes next year, and I will definitely report all the findings with that. So our goal for next year, we're gonna grow the spray division. Really need to figure that out. We need to add 400 to 500 clients. So for those of y'all in the lawn care industry, if you're not into spraying, what pretty much is here in the South is anywhere from 6 to 8 applications. We do 7 a year for grass, weed control, and fertilization. And the average around this area anyways is about 6,000 square foot of turf. So you're looking at about $420 a client per year. So if you add 500 clients, about $200,000. So we're looking at between $160 and $200,000 of added growth, and one person will be able to do that. So that's going to be our growth goals, and glad that I'm in I think the reflection season, I think I definitely missed my turn. But yeah, very glad to be in that reflective season of life and be able to pump the brakes and say, okay, the best thing to do here is slow down before we ramp back up and add a couple locations that year after. So definitely looking forward to it. I know I said it in many of my videos, but definitely check out Landscape Summit 2022. It is going to be exceptional, and if you are trying to grow your business to be systems oriented and scale it and have the most profitable year that you will ever have, come check it out. Listen to the knowledge and make adaptations accordingly. Maybe I didn't miss it. All right, I didn't miss it. So I'm absolutely terrible with directions. I have to use my GPS to get out of my backyard, and I've been to this trail. I can't even tell you. I've grown up here, and but yeah, I didn't miss it. Trailhead's right here, and I am looking forward to riding this bike. So I had a really good day today. Got to the gym in the morning before work, so like 5:30 in the morning. Work, had a good estimating day, and now I'm gonna end it on a mountain bike ride with Jeremy. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your Friday. I know a lot of people are probably still working out in the field, and as far as growth and in the business is definitely necessary, but it does suck cash even if you're doing it the right way. And it definitely sucks cash when you're making, some milestone mistakes like I have with having debt and labor situation as far as not figuring it out. And pay for performance definitely helps with that. So super thankful to have found Mike Andes and implemented his information. But gonna go enjoy this mountain bike ride. Hope y'all have a great rest of your Friday and weekend. And I will see y'all Monday morning. I will be the one running the Monday morning meeting, and I will definitely record it. Oh yeah, now I'm looking at the screen more, and I'm not driving, I'm parked. This shirt right here, obviously not Augusta Gold, but it is kind of a throwback to my bodybuilding days. This one's actually, my wife was way more famous than I was, or she was way more higher caliber. She was bikini, so not bodybuilding, but it's still bodybuilding. But yeah, she was bikini in the NPC. This is from when she went and competed at the Arnold Classic. It's one of the largest bodybuilding shows in the world, and she competed there twice and got top 10. She got to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger, which was amazing. It was in Columbus, Ohio. We worked out at this powerhouse. It's kind of a mecca, just like Venice Beach is to bodybuilders. And we got to meet Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk. That was really cool. But yeah, y'all have a great weekend, and I'll see you Monday morning.